Wait, is my mic on?
Guys, are we really doing this?
Ah, fuck it. Let's just start. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to this week's episode of Sipping Through Life. It's me, your girl, Deani. And, I'm just so excited for this episode. I really just can't wait to know all the information. But before we get into that, how have you guys been since I last talked to you guys?
Hello, what's going on, guys? I've been good. My semester is over, so...
Yay!
Summer is here for a week and a half, you guys, so I'm gonna be living it up in quarantine, doing absolutely nothing, but I can't wait. So yeah, I'm doing good this week.
Oh,
Thank you. How are you guys doing?
Well, I'm doing good. Just, same old. Got some cleaning done. I will say potty training is on halt. We just got the potty in the playroom. We're just working on that because this whole telling me when you're going to poo-poo or telling me poo-poo, it's a struggle bus right now. So that's been put on hold a little bit, at least until quarantine is over, because I cannot do quarantine and potty training.
Too much.
I give up. I'm like throwing in the towel. But yeah, Ani, how are you doing?
Nice save there.
Thanks, I know. Damn it.
I've been good. Honestly, the work weeks kind of I don't know, they're just like weird, but enough about work. You know how last week I was telling you guys that I was reading To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm still in the same spot, which is I just only read chapter 1. But
Big things. It's a really good read, huh?
I mean, honestly,
They're long chapters, okay?
I mean, I'm used to reading long chapters. It's just that, I don't know. I need to, brush up on my vocabulary. Because at least with the Kindle, if there's a word that I don't know, I can, click it, and then a definition will come up, and I'll be like, oh, okay. Or it'll tell me, how to pronounce the word. But I don't know. This book is just making me feel kind of dumb. And I'm like, sophomores in high school read this? What does that word mean?
I had no idea, so...
I was about to say, I didn't know. I just waited for the movie to play out what was going to happen.
I didn't even know that they made a movie of it. So I'll have to check that out after I read the book. But I got a notification the other day, and a couple weeks back, I had ordered the Bella Twins. You guys know I love them. I love their TV show, their podcast, whatever. I ordered their book because they were coming out with one. And I don't know, there's just something about twins that is so fascinating to me and interesting to me. And I mean, I'm also only on page 3 of their book. I literally work, and then I have to watch my reality TV shows, so I do all my reading on the weekends anyways. But from what I've read of the book, I think it's going to be a really good read.
All 3 pages told you
reading,
that, huh?
Yeah. No, right. 3 pages told me that. And maybe some of the things that I've heard from their interviews that they've been doing while they've been promoting the book. But while I was reading those 3 pages and watching the interviews, I was just like, oh my gosh, I have so many questions for Gaby
Gaby, get ready.
What it's like.
I know, I'm so excited.
Being pregnant, and then finding out that you're having twins, and then knowing that it's going to be twin girls and all that kind of stuff. So if you guys don't mind, I know that this wasn't really a big recap. I'm not drinking any alcohol today. I'm drinking purely water because I am a professional journalist today. I'm coming with the questions.
Hey, new title on ya. Love it.
And are you guys good with just starting with questions and answers? Because I got some questions from listeners who want to know just as much as me, Gaby.
Yeah, that works. And just to set the record, I am drinking water.
Just to set the record, I too am drinking sparkling water. So,
Clearly, we're just trying to be hydrated
and super professional.
This is a big deal right now. I have a lot I have to ask.
This is a really important interview.
Yeah, my mom. Shout out Kathy, who's listening right now, had some great questions too. So she's had 4 kids, and she was like, I need to know about having twins. That's crazy.
Right.
Oh, this is I'm excited, but y'all know, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little intimidated because it's there's just so much
think, we have no answers. You could say anything to us and we'd believe it,
Right.
That's very true. Very true.
You could be when you're pregnant with twins, your right foot grows 2 sizes. And I'd be like, wow.
I know. I know
don't know.
nothing about pregnancy, so this is going to be really informing.
Well, informing, but obviously, like, don't want it to scare you. Because, again, like, twin pregnancy is a lot more intimidating than I think a singleton.
A singleton?
That's what us twin moms call it. Just
Oh.
fair warning. It is like a singleton pregnancy and then a twins. And then obviously triplet. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah,
But
multiples, yeah.
multiples, yes.
Ooh.
But yeah, I mean, I think obviously any pregnancy can be difficult, but starting out, first time being pregnant and it being twins, it's very hard to like be able to relate to that, I think, for someone that's just having one baby. Like no one could give me true advice when I was first pregnant.
Yeah.
Because it's like they're like we don't really know how it is for you.
Yeah.
Like you don't know how it is for us. So
And I think that this will be like really interesting and important because like this is your story, you know? Like the advice that you give, guys, it's not like medical advice, but this is just what like Gaby knows and this is just like what she experienced.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I think it's also like really because you can obviously I would pray that you would ask your doctors certain questions, but it's also just I think comforting to know that you're not the only person that's pregnant with twins out there. If you are pregnant with twins or if you hope to be pregnant with twins or whatever, like it's just like Gaby's story and I'm so excited to hear it. So without further ado, my very first question is drum roll please. We don't have a drum.
I know, I'm like
perfect. Gaby.
Yes.
What were the early signs of pregnancy that made you decide to even take a test?
Oh, good question.
Okay. So I remember this whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Saturday and I had woken up and I put on a new shirt that my stepmom had given me. And okay, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't wash it. And I put it on and when I say my nipples were so sensitive in this shirt, like rubbing up against it. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, this is so weird. And I'm telling Rylan, I'm like, something's not right. And he's like, no, like, you're fine. You didn't wash that shirt. I told you to wash the shirt. I'm like, okay, like, it's the shirt, all right?
Oh,
Still feeling weird. But I knew something was not right. And I do have very regular periods.
Okay.
So that was just something I just assumed maybe it didn't even cross my mind that I could be pregnant.
You weren't late, right?
Yeah.
Like at this point.
I wasn't late.
Okay.
I just hadn't had my period. Yeah.
Ah.
And obviously like I wasn't gaining weight in any way for me to suspect that I was pregnant. And so I actually had plans with some friends that night to go out drinking. And we ended up going to a friend's house and we were pre-gaming. I had one drink and I felt so sick after that drink. Like I was like, I really shouldn't be going out. Like I don't think I can. And I told Rylan that. Next day, Sunday, ended up going to get a pregnancy test. And I took it the second we got home. And when I looked at it and it was like super faint. Like you could not see the line, but it said positive with a faint line. And I'm like, okay, like I'm freaking out. I emailed my doctors and I was like, what does this mean? They were just like, dude, it's the first pee in the morning. That should be your pregnancy test should be taken as the first pee in the morning.
I didn't know
So I'm
that.
like, okay.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. They said, because I guess that's when the levels are its highest.
Oh.
So I did the same thing and wouldn't you know, it was a faint line.
Okay.
So I went to work and I'm at work like emailing my doctor. I'm like, I need to know because it's like if it's a false positive, okay. But I'm like, but if it is a positive, like I need to know.
Yeah.
I go to the doctor, get a blood drawn test. I'm not even home yet. I'm driving to our apartment and the second I park my car, notification comes up, lab results, and it says positive. Yeah. So I go into my house in our apartment and I'm just sitting on the couch crying because we did not plan this at all in any way. Like talking about it like 26, 27, maybe, you know what I mean? But we were both just 23. Like had just, he turned 23 and I was about to turn 23. So yeah. And then I remember Rylan came home and just saw me sitting on the couch crying. And I was just like, it's positive. And he was like, and he just started tearing up too. Cause it was just not what we were expecting.
It was a surprise. Yeah.
Exactly. So, but that is like the true, like a matter of 48 hours into like finding out.
I feel like when I think about pregnancy, like finding out, it's like this, like a huge moment, but that it takes like long time. But like you just described that, and it was like you had a drive home, and then you knew you were pregnant. Like
it was
you
that
don't
quick.
have any time to like process all those emotions. It's just this is it. Like that's crazy.
And it was the process was so quick after that, because the second my doctors told me it was positive, it was like I had a nurse calling me to set an appointment for my first 8-week checkup.
Wow.
They were like, typically women don't find out till about 6 weeks, so we'll set your appointment. Like that's when levels actually show up on a test. So she was like, we'll set something up for 2 weeks. It so happened, I think, land on my birthday, I believe.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, okay, we'll go in then. Like, we know I'm pregnant, like, blah, blah, blah. We go into that appointment, and, Ryland obviously came with me, and my lovely doctor came in. She's amazing.
Aww.
Like, I just loved her so much. They actually don't use the belly wand in the beginning.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
They actually stick a wand inside of you.
What?
Yes. And I did not know this. Trust me, Ryland's standing there like about to pass out because he's like, what
did I just walk
what's
into?
going on? And so we're both like I'm laying there and she's doing all that, doing, her job. And we're looking at the screen. And I'm looking and I'm like, I hope that's not what I'm thinking. Because you just see two like dark circles. Like distinct, like very, two dark circles. And she just goes, oh. And I was like, what? She goes, so I'm seeing 2 sacks.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing twins. And I just went, what? And Ryland, and I look over at Ryland directly, and my poor Ryland just standing there, like rubbing his hands together, like just, you can just see his face just going, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you okay? And my doctor just goes, just let me know if you're going to pass out. Like, and so he's just like, no, I just need to wash my hands. Goes over and washes his hands. And like, she just finishes and she keeps going. She goes, yeah, it looks like you're about 6 weeks. And I'm like, okay, like had no idea like that you could find out that early. She goes, that's crazy to think that you found out at 4 weeks, but your levels, what I think it's called like HCG, HGC, something like that. Your levels were just so high because you were having twins. That's why you found out and had symptoms so early.
Oh, wow. So like straight from the jump, like your symptoms came on.
Basically.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was like just the process is in how we found out it was twins and all that fun stuff. Yeah. Wow. It was I know that was a whole lot of overload. It was very intimidating. And this was, like I said, all in a span of a matter of like 2.5 weeks of like finding out we were pregnant and then actually having
twins.
An ultrasound. Yeah.
I think the thing that's like the most shocking or like hardest to come over is like, you guys know, and I say it all the time, I'm such a planner. So to go from having this plan of like, oh yeah, like maybe we'll have kids around 26, 27 to like feeling like, oh, maybe I'm pregnant, to finally coming to terms with like, I'm going to buy a pregnancy test. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. Then you go to the doctor's office. It's like, wow, can I have like a couple of days to just like, like just to like process and to think, and then it's like, nope, surprise, 2 minutes later, like, yep, you're confirmed pregnant, and then 2 weeks later to be like, surprise, it's twins.
Yeah.
Like, I just think like mentally that would just be a lot for me to handle, like in such a short amount of time. Especially for it to be like my first pregnancy. Like I've heard of like people having twins like after they've had like a singleton birth. But I don't know. I just think there's something like so unique about the fact that like your first pregnancy was twins.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just funny because we, like I said, was not planned, complete surprise. And it did throw us for a complete loop, like for obvious reasons. And my mom actually, I knew that her sister was actually a twin. But there were some medical issues at birth that the baby didn't make it. And so I did know that twins ran in the family in that sense. But come to find out later on, my mom was like, you know, I do have cousins that all have twins. And I said, what?
Oh my gosh.
She said, yeah, I have like 5 or 6 cousins that have like twins. And I'm like, that is crucial information,
Right.
mother.
Twins,
like, you share
yeah,
that.
do twins come from like the maternal or paternal side?
I believe,
idea.
so I could be completely wrong with this. I hope I'm not. I was under the impression that it genetically, it can be passed down paternally.
Okay.
So like the genes will go to the mom, like,
Mhm.
or the daughter, if, you know, whatever. But it is primarily like the mother that carries that gene that can have, because you're,
Oh.
for fraternal at least, because getting all medical here, you're releasing 2 eggs.
Yeah.
So that's genetics if your body naturally releases
Got
2,
it.
because normally we only release the 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And this may be TMI, or like you may not want to go into this, but like, were you on birth control? And then you like, I always think about like when a pregnancy is unplanned and you hear the story of like the girl who's on birth control and then she was sick, so she took medication and then it like canceled out the birth control, or like she was in the middle of like switching birth controls and then it happened, you know?
So I was on birth control.
Okay.
Wow.
So this
I
is
was.
just
So like you really weren't expecting this.
yeah.
Well, no,
Oh.
let me finish.
Oh.
Sorry. I was on it, like actively on it for many years.
Mhm.
And it was a good 4 months before this. So let's see, I found out in February. It was like November.
Okay.
I had gotten off of it because I was trying to lose weight.
Mm.
Like I was trying just get healthier, and I
Yeah.
know my body had been on birth control for a very long time. So I wanted to give it a
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
You know? And Ryle and I obviously talked about using other options. So that's
Mhm.
what we were doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clearly we just didn't know something didn't work the
Yeah.
one time.
Oh.
So, and it truly takes one
Just
time.
one time.
So yes. So I was, but the 4 months prior to actually becoming pregnant, I was
Mhm.
not on it.
Oh, okay.
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 So
Megan, are you okay with me asking another question?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So this one is all around like hormones, because
Okay.
I've watched some like different, like I was pregnant and didn't know it or whatever.
Mhm.
So you were pregnant with twins, so I know that your hormone levels were like double, I guess, that
Yeah.
of, I would assume, that of like a single pregnancy. So my question is, one, did any of your senses change, in the sense like, did you have an increased sense of smell?
Mhm.
And two, this is like something that I saw in a BuzzFeed video, and I just wonder if it's common. Did the hormones make you repulsed by the smell of Rylan?
Ooh.
I know it's so
Sorry.
weird, but like
No.
I've heard that like some pregnant women, like it's not even like they smell bad, it's just like their natural like what's it called?
Pheromones.
Pheromones. Like that smell is just like, it makes them like nauseous.
No, I really don't think so. Well, on the Rylan part.
Mhm.
No, he didn't. I didn't.
Good to know.
He smelled fine
That's
to me.
good.
He smelled like Rylan. Yeah.
That's good.
But as for like being sensitive to smells, a little bit.
Okay.
Nothing crazy though.
Like,
like-
what would like kind of trigger you, or like make you feel like, oh, that smells like so bad?
Thinking back now, it's like I think it was more like raw stuff
Oh.
and the like raw meats and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was just like, I don't know why. It wasn't looking at it. Like that really didn't bother me, but it was like walking past it, I could
Yeah.
almost get the whiff
Oh, yeah.
of that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But
Did you throw up a lot? Like, did you have a rough first
Holy crap.
trimester?
yes,
Oh.
in the beginning, it was I couldn't keep anything down.
Oh, really?
A good like a week or two after I'd found out, like that's whenever a lot of the symptoms started hitting me. And I, like I said, mornings I was good. Like
Mhm.
I was able to keep things down. I was okay. Come by the time I got home from
Mhm.
work, I had like the morning sickness, but at night.
Oh.
So
Okay.
like I'd get home, I'd get dizzy, I'd get nauseous. I'd try to eat something, I'd end up throwing it up.
Really?
Oh,
And it
gosh.
came to turn out that, which a lot of pregnant women go talk to your doctor about it, but my doctor was like, you must have really bad heartburn.
Oh.
So my
Mm.
heartburn was actually causing me to be nauseous, and which
Hmm.
was leading me to like have the morning sickness. So I ended up just taking like a medication for heartburn, and that
Mhm.
actually just cleared all that up. So luckily
wow.
I was not sick my entire first trimester. It was only like the first couple weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part of like your first trimester,
Yeah.
aside from like accepting and like realizing the fact that you're pregnant?
I feel like it was just the fact that it wasn't planned.
Okay.
And the heart, well, but obviously, I mean, obviously that goes with accepting it. But I think not knowing what family was going to say.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That was the hardest thing because, I mean, Ryle and I aren't married. Like, I was
Yeah.
worried about what they were going to say about that. I was also worried that some family might have different opinions on how we should handle it
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. But that, I think, was the biggest obstacle, was just trying to reassure myself and remember that, again, I was 22. It's not like I
Yeah.
was 16.
Right.
But in my head, like, I felt like that 16-year-old
Right.
just
Like,
petrified
Yeah.
to tell her family. And Ryle and I had only moved out of the house. It would have been a year in May.
Okay.
So it's like
Yeah.
we hadn't been living on
For
our
that
own
long.
crazy
Yeah.
long. Yeah. But we had been dating for about two and a half years, I think, at that point. So 2 years, excuse me. So yeah, it was just 3 years. Just kidding. Sorry, I'm trying to count in my head. Clearly, I don't remember, but it was something we'd been dating a
you
long
had been.
time.
You
It's
were
not like it
established.
wasn't exactly. So it was. I had a lot of pros in that column that I guess I didn't realize at the
Yeah.
time
Mm-hmm.
as to how family would react and all that. Like, it wasn't like it was just a random person.
No.
Like, everyone knew, like, Ryle and I loved each other.
Yeah.
Like, we were very committed to each other. So that definitely helped. But definitely, family was the biggest thing I was nervous about in that first
Yeah.
trimester.
Keeping on the topic of, like, I guess symptoms, were you gassy?
Yes.
Oh God.
And was it almost immediately? Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I'm already kind of like a gassy individual, but like, was it like a gas, like more gas than usual?
Yeah. I mean, yes and no.
And that could be, like,
it really all
burping,
depends with. I mean,
too.
you guys already know how I burp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it really just all depended on what I
Okay.
ate.
Oh,
Did you have
okay.
any cravings?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Cereal. Don't
Really?
ask me why.
Like fruity cereals or?
Oh, like cereals that children would
Okay.
eat.
Sugary?
Oh, yes.
Huh.
Like the Fruity Pebbles, Apple Jacks, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Captain Crunch, a lot of just like those
The children's
the children's cereal that Rylan would always be like, you shouldn't be eating that. Like, I'm done buying these at the store. Like, I'll get you mini wheats and that's it. So after a while, all I had was mini wheats.
Oh, not the same.
I mean,
Oh.
I've definitely been in a place before where I've been like craving something, and then you like come home and it's not there, and you like want to
oh,
cry.
and I do cry some days.
Yeah, like I've cried
me too.
before, but like, was there ever a situation where you were like, middle of the night, like, Rylan, you
Have to go get
go
it.
get me this? Like, I'm gonna freak out.
No.
Really?
Actually, like, I didn't
Wow.
have any. I probably did, but I think I fought the
Mhm.
cravings
Good for you.
enough.
Wow.
At least because I knew how important diet was.
Oh yeah.
Just because of, I think it actually might be a question, but I'll answer it real quick. Gestational diabetes
Yes.
is actually like very common in multiple pregnancies.
Oh, okay.
So that was a concern for my doctor because I guess I was the sweets, like I said, drinks, but also juices. I forgot about that. Like, I really wanted orange juice, like the tropical punch juice. Like, I really wanted it. And my doctor was just really worried because she's like, I know you're craving it, but you really shouldn't be having a lot of it.
So were you eating a lot more? Like noticeably?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
so it is like you do really eat a lot more
Yeah.
because you had 2 to feed.
Yeah, but I
guess 3 counting yourself.
what kind of helped me with that, it was always like, again, my doctor said diet's important. You have to remember the baby's stomach.
Oh.
Like, think of us. Our stomach is the size of our
Yeah.
fist.
Right.
Oh my God.
All right?
yeah.
Imagine a baby's stomach. It is not, I mean, the size of their
It's like a
fist. It's
peanut.
so small that it's like, exactly. So it's like when women were just eating nonstop or eating a lot of food, my doctor's like, yes, you really want that, but you have to remember it's not necessarily what your body needs.
Right.
As long as it's healthy choices, it's different. But if you're eating whatever you want nonstop, you're just using the excuse that you're
Yeah,
pregnant.
so there's a lot of discipline when you're pregnant. But people
Oh,
don't
yeah.
talk about
I think
that. They
yeah.
really don't. They're like, it's a
Yeah.
free for all. Eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Going on, weight gain and
Yeah.
whatnot, I do have a question because, I mean, this is something that plagues me and I'm not even pregnant, but, social media plays a really big role in today's culture. And I feel like they put so much pressure on girls to look like skinny or like slim
Yeah.
thick or whatever, like you want to have like all the right curves and blah, blah, blah. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how hard was it to watch your body change as you
Mhm.
gained weight during your pregnancy? Because like I gain a small amount of weight and it like really, really affects.
Yeah.
I try not to let it affect me, but like it really bugs me. But I know with pregnancy, like your body is supposed to change and it's supposed to gain weight, but I feel like it's hard to feel like yourself when it's changing so
I
fast.
had the same question. Like, how did you deal with that? Because I'm already so self-conscious and like just like self-aware when something changes on myself. And
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
Well, with the 1 to 5, like 5 being the worst.
Yeah.
I think it easily like a 3, 4. I think it didn't hit me
Mm-hmm.
till after they were born.
Okay.
Because in the moment, like I knew I was gaining weight, I knew I was getting big,
Mm-hmm.
but I knew it was in the end, it's because I'm pregnant with 2
Right.
babies. Like that's what everyone kept telling me. That was like, do I look bigger like
Mhm.
this? And then just be like, Gabby, you're having twins. Yes,
Yeah.
you look bigger. Like so it was definitely hard, especially like now having stretch
Mhm.
marks and everything, and I could feel them coming
Mm-hmm.
at certain points, like later on. But that was the biggest thing, was just like feeling my stomach just like truly stretch
Yeah.
out.
That's
like,
what I always think. I think and this is going to sound really dumb, but now that I'm really thinking about pregnancy, I just assume like your stomach is getting bigger because you're eating more. And I know that sounds dumb, but your stomach is, your stomach is stretching. Like, did that hurt?
oh yeah,
Technically your
like they call
uterus.
them
Yeah,
they call them
I've never thought about this.
ligament
Okay.
ligament pains, where it's literally like all the ligaments just in your
Yeah.
stomach, and all that is just truly like you can
You
feel
can?
it, and it's painful. I mean, at least it was for me at a certain point.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, Izzy was truly, there were times I could feel her under my ribs.
Oh my gosh.
And like when she would move, or when she flipped, like she moved the most. Addie was tucked up in my pelvis the entire time. She was baby A. So Izzy just had more space. So she was moving so often, like breech, head first, all that. And that was the hardest thing when she moved. Like that hurt real bad. At least that's when like the ligament, my stomach all together. Because when she was in a different position, my whole stomach on this side would just like this, stomach would just stretch.
I was gonna ask, at what point in your pregnancy, like weeks or trimester or whatever, did you start to feel like your body was no longer yours?
Very early on.
Really?
Oh.
I would probably say at like 19, 20 weeks, like right after I found out the genders.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it was like, that made it more real, like
Yeah.
knowing if they were girls, boys, a boy and a girl, like that made it more real. And then it was just things were starting to get uncomfortable. Like I was starting to feel more, and like I love feeling them move, but at the same time it freaked me the
That's my
fuck
next question. Like,
Oh,
what does
really?
that feel
in the
like?
beginning. Yeah, it's literally like, so it's kind of funny now because they call them phantom kicks. Like when your muscles just move in your stomach, like if you're bloated and a gas bubble moves, like truly, like that feels like a baby kicking sometimes. And I had to look it up one time. I'm like, why am I feeling this? And they're like, it's phantom kicks. Like it's very common for women that were pregnant and then deliver, that they feel like it. It's literally just like, it's so hard to explain. Like if someone poking you, but someone poking you from like the outside.
Oh.
Going out. I don't know. It's
Oh.
very hard to explain, but like that's, yeah. I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It's an amazing feeling though. After you get used to it and it doesn't freak you out.
So like the first time though was like terrifying.
Did you cry?
Yeah, did you cry?
It made it real
Oh, okay.
in that moment. I don't remember crying, at least. I think it was just more like, holy crap, like I'm pregnant.
Right.
So did you feel like really connected with them since they were like in your stomach, or was it until they came out that you started to feel really connected?
That's a good question.
For me, I think it was more so the end of my pregnancy, like the very end, like a couple weeks before they got there, and then like after they were delivered. Because it's like I was connected, but at the same time, it was like, because there were two, and like it wasn't planned. So it was just very, emotionally and mentally, I think I was thrown through a loop,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it definitely took time for me while I was pregnant to be connected to the pregnancy.
You were also just like coming to like acceptance too, so it's hard to just be like, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Okay.
Did you do anything to try and prevent stretch marks, and how well did they work? Because I already have stretch marks, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't even want to think about it.
I should have. I bought the lotion and everything, but I wasn't the one standing there actually,
Rubbing it on.
applying it every day. Yeah, and my dumb ass, like, I'm looking down and I'm like, there are no stretch marks. There's none. Little did I know there were stretch marks. They were all under where I couldn't see. So so once they were born, I'm like, holy shit, there were stretch marks.
Gaby.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, I definitely would recommend something, but some women, it is genetics, like you said. You have them, like, and I gained a lot of weight at some point in high school. So I had stretch marks on my thighs and on my sides a little bit, on like my little muffin top there. So it's like, if you get them already, it's like most likely you will.
Yeah.
So I've kind of accepted it now. It's something I do kind of struggle with sometimes, but I mean, I had a freaking 2 babies, so
they're amazing. Like that should be something you should like show off. But I mean, if you don't want to show off, but like be proud of it, you know?
You know, exactly. I'm starting to like be more proud of them.
I just have to know, how swollen were your boobs, and did they hurt like 24/7? Because when I'm on my period, I want to I want to cry. I'm like holding them. Do you know what I mean? Like, so they don't move. I can't do it for 9 months. I'm about to cry.
I literally can't even have like the towel like rub against it. Like my boobs are
sensitive.
So sensitive when I'm on my period.
And like your nipples too. Like everything. Like the whole area.
Yeah.
So big.
Oh no.
What's the biggest size like bra you were in?
You guys already know. I had a bigger chest already to begin with. So I was about between a C and a D before. So easily about a double D during the pregnancy.
Did they feel heavy?
Oh,
I'm out. I can't do this. No, this is not going to be good for me.
And things I weren't prepared for. It's like your nipples do change color.
I was going to ask you that.
That was one of my
me
questions.
Too. Yes, like my nipples got
like
so dark.
Really
and
dark,
like,
right?
Like dark, yeah. And I'm like, okay, like my skin gets this tan during the summer, but I'm like, usually my nipples aren't this dark. Like they're a little bit pink rosy, you know? TMI, sorry, Ryland.
Whenever I like think my period's late, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my God, let me look at my nipples. Because they say that's the first sign. Like your nipples change color. So ladies, check your nipples.
See, I wouldn't say, it was for me later on. Well, if there's pain in your nipples.
No, I said just the color.
That was for me.
Well, Google lied. Google lied to me once again.
For me, at least, I don't know. Then again, I wasn't really staring at my nipples the entire pregnancy. But I could have sworn it was like later on that I noticed all that.
On the topic of like, TMI. So I know that it's common. Like my mom, I think her nose like swelled or spread or whatever, and like her lips were like super puffy. But like, so one, did that happen to you? But two, did like downstairs swell?
Oh my God.
Your vulva, did it like swell? Did you ever look at it? Or no? Were you like, I just don't even want to know?
It got a little harder at one point to look down there because my stomach was so big. Clearly, I didn't see the stretch marks, so I wasn't really looking down there. But it was sore, I would say. But then again, there was just a lot of pressure. Like, it got to a point where both babies, like, sitting on each other kind of like that. It was just a lot of pressure on that part of, like, that bone just there.
Yeah.
But what was the first yes to?
Oh, your nose and your lips and just like
my
swelling,
nose.
like hands.
I don't know if you remember my baby shower, but my nose, like I retained so much water, and it took a couple months till after they were born.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do this.
I thought it was immediate.
I have a round face. Oh no, this is not looking good for me.
No.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Sorry, guys.
I have to know. A lot of people talk about like when they're pregnant. I think it's more like in the middle of their pregnancy, that they get like super horny. Were you like super horny throughout this pregnancy, or did you just feel like gross?
I felt kind of gross, and I think I was really scared too because it was two. Okay. Trust me, I knew that like the penis would not hit the baby. Like I wasn't that stupid, but I'm like here like. What's gonna happen? Like, what if something does happen? Like,
and if you're already uncomfortable, like
that's what I was already really uncomfortable to begin with. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't. So,
like I just imagine
like Ryland was a trooper. Like,
Oh, good job,
But,
Rylan.
like,
Yeah.
you know when your back hurts, you just, like, don't want to be lying down on it. And then imagine, like, a
Right.
heaviness, like, on
Well,
top of you.
you can't lay on your back. You
I was going to
shouldn't
ask you,
lay on your
what
back.
was it like sleeping
Oh.
for you? Like, towards the end of your pregnancy, were you like even sleeping? I don't know. I love sleeping. I love naps. I love all that
Yes.
stuff. And like, when I can't get comfortable to go to sleep at night, like I could
Mhm.
cry because I'm just
Yeah.
so frustrated.
Oh, it was rough. I mean, beginning not too bad, but reading and finding stuff out, like I couldn't sleep on my back. They said pregnant women should never sleep on their back because of like oxygen levels and like
Mhm.
circulation in
I
your
didn't know
body.
this.
See, I'm a stomach sleeper.
Can't sleep
I'm
on
a
your side
side
either.
sleeper.
After a certain point,
Woo.
I was a side sleeper, and they say sleeping on, I think it was the left side, was the best. That's where you get like the most, I guess,
Blood flow
blood
and
flow.
oxygen.
Yeah, and that was what's really important, especially in a twin pregnancy, because you have two separate
Yeah.
sacs and like blood flowing everywhere.
I naturally sleep.
I
on the
sleep
right
on the
side,
left.
like on my stomach.
Oh my God, things
Oh,
are looking up
gosh.
for me. Woo! Wow.
But yeah, but then sleeping later on, holy crap, that last trimester, like I couldn't get to bed till about 10, 11 at night, which I mean, it's
Mhm.
not crazy late. But then I was waking up at like 2, 3 in the morning.
Mm.
No.
And then I couldn't fall asleep till about 7, 8. And then I'd get up again at like 11, 12. And then that was just kind of how my routine was for a while. At least whenever I had stopped working.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do the
Okay.
babies move at the same time, or do they move like separately? Like, I can't imagine feeling two things move at the same time.
Occasionally they did. It was very rare because typically Izzy was just moving all the time.
Okay.
Like nonstop. Like I could feel her just to my right all the time. But Addie was typically like, it was more just kicks. I think more to like
Oh.
kick Izzy
Okay.
over. But yeah, it was really rare when I felt both of them at the
Okay.
same time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I found my question, and it is,
Okay.
what would you say is the biggest difference between an Instagram pregnancy and a
Mhm.
real life pregnancy?
Instagram made it
Mhm.
look so perfect. Just there's no pain, there's no aches, like I'm still able to wear these shoes.
Yeah.
It wasn't reality. It was not. Reality was give me
Mhm.
the comfiest clothes. I don't care if I'm wearing the Skechers memory foam shoes to work. It just was not real. Like it's not the most comfortable. I can't complain, like the pregnancy was not
Mhm.
absolutely miserable. I know some women experience like a lot tougher pregnancies, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you weren't comfortable. I mean, you're sharing your body with someone
To
else,
someone
so
else's
it's like
for
it's
you.
not always roses and unicorns.
Right. Were you ever put on like bed rest, or were you considered a high risk pregnancy because you were having twins?
So I was considered high risk, and at the time I was working
Okay.
at an animal hospital. So I worked up until the last day of August was my last day.
Mm-hmm.
It just got to a point where it's like I
Mhm.
was just in pain all the time from how much I was walking around moving, and like my job did do a great job accommodating as best as they could to what I could and couldn't do, but it just got to a point that I think mentally for myself I just couldn't keep going. So it was about a month before the girls were born, month and a half ish. I just kind of put myself
Okay.
on bed rest. I kind of just told myself to go be at home.
Okay. Did you do like a lot of research on like birth videos or just like anything like that?
I don't know if you guys remember biology
Yeah.
in high school that you had to like
Oh,
watch a
yeah.
live birth. That was enough for me. And not to mention, I was actually there when my mom gave birth to my sister. So that was like, I know how this is going to go. And I knew this mama was going to get an epidural. Like I knew all that. So, and I truly told my doctor, I was like, however you think I should handle this, I will do. Like, I am not trying to be difficult. If you think I need a certain, a certain birthing plan, let's go for it. I wasn't being picky.
That's kind of crazy to me because I feel like my need to control everything and just like need to know everything, I would be like on YouTube 24/7 near the end, like just overloading myself with like videos.
Yeah.
So I give you props.
I don't know. I guess I don't know, I don't think that's what scared me.
Really? You weren't nervous to deliver?
I mean, I think I was nervous, but it didn't become a fear till like whenever I started having contractions. I think that was whenever it was like,
Really?
holy shit, this is happening.
Yeah.
Like, and that's when it hit me that the fear came. Like, I knew it was going to be scary. I knew it was going to be intense. But actually feeling those contractions, I was like, oh, shit, this is a totally different level than I was expecting. Like, nowhere near a bad poop. Like, it is not a bad poop. Like,
I'm so excited for our labor.
Me too.
and
I know.
Literally
I'm trying not to give
episode.
too much right now.
Right.
But
I know. Sorry, I like kind of like just had to get a little bit of knowledge, you know?
no, it's
Oh my
okay. It's
gosh.
okay.
So I have like 3 final
Yeah.
questions, and then we can get into our free advice segment, unless Megan has more
Okay.
questions. But
Yeah.
the first one is pregnancy brain real, and were
Oh
you
yeah,
more forgetful?
all the time. And the littlest things, I'd walk into a room to get something, completely
Mhm.
forgot what I was going into that room, and then just sitting down and then being like, oh, I have to finish doing what I was doing in the other room.
Yeah.
Like little things like that, that it's like to the extent of just forgetting something. It's like, oh, I was actually doing something before this. Yeah, it definitely is a thing.
Huh.
Okay. And then what would you say was the worst part overall of being pregnant? Like whether it was like the lack of sleep towards the end, the skin, like the feeling of your skin stretching,
Oh my God.
not being able to eat like sandwiches and like sushi.
That was rough. I didn't realize how bad I wanted deli meat while I was pregnant. Sushi too. I miss sushi. And even just like having a glass of wine, like drinking.
I didn't even think about this.
Me neither. I literally didn't think.
I literally didn't even think about this. Oh my God.
Some women like have like a small glass like every so often. Yeah. For myself, I really can stop drinking. The baby's not wanting to drink. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's my choice, not the child. So it's like, but I definitely did want to. And there were times where I'm like, okay, fuck it. But self-control again. But for sure, it was the deli meat.
Deli meat.
That was rough.
I eat sandwiches all the time. Like, I love sandwiches, wraps, all that kind of stuff from like Subway, Jimmy John's, all that. Like, I just love deli meat, turkey in particular.
I'm not a sandwich kind of girl.
The thought of
sandwiches.
Like, no, you haven't had one of my sandwiches. Like, it's
True.
so good. It's so good. Like, I just can't imagine for 9, almost 10 months. Well, I guess for you, it's more like 8.
Yeah, I think it was about 8-ish. Yeah, 8-ish.
Not being able to eat it.
Yeah, it was
Wait,
rough.
what?
And you don't realize how bad you want it until you
I'm
can't
confused.
have it.
Right, because I think the fact that, like, I'm not allowed to have it would make me want it more.
You're not allowed to eat deli meat when you're pregnant?
No, because there's like
a hormone?
No, like I don't even want to say like bacteria. I guess maybe kind of in a way.
Yeah,
there's just something that it wouldn't affect the mother,
Okay.
but it can actually affect the baby. I guess because they can't handle whatever.
Isn't it?
Some things can possibly be carried in deli meat. It's like the littlest thing that if you get like a stomach bug from eating something that's not like fully processed well or whatever, I guess, I don't know. I could be talking on my ass right now. All I know is something in the deli meat that doesn't affect the mom, but it affects the baby.
I did not know this.
So-
I knew wine, coffee, and like fish, like sushi, like raw fish.
Yeah, raw fish.
And now deli meat? Okay.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Trust me.
I don't like deli meat.
It
but-
was rough.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, my last question.
Last question.
Before
okay.
we get into the free advice segment is what was the best part or like your favorite part of pregnancy that you missed the most?
Yeah, good way to wrap this. Yeah.
As big as I got, I miss my belly so much.
Really?
I miss having like, I do miss having the girls like inside me. Like it, as like I said, it was a weird fucking feeling in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, holy shit, there is something growing inside me. But that is the one thing I miss. That it was an insane experience.
Yeah.
Just knowing you're growing a human inside you, two
Yeah.
humans inside you. Like I always forget, two. But that was like the craziest thing that I just had a belly and I missed that.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
That's really sweet.
Really fucking sweet.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay, I know I said that was the last question, but your belly comment really just made me think. Did people really come up to you and just like want to touch your belly? And was that annoying? And that's really my last question.
Yes. Great one to end with.
Yeah, we try to end sweet here, but
I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. It's just funny. No, okay. I hope I don't call anyone out in this. Personally, I didn't like it.
Call them out.
I don't want people touching my belly in normal times. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Immediate family, completely different. Like, you know, my sister-in-law, my brothers, my sister, even though my brothers were not touching my belly. But like, they were not. They were just kind of like, eh. Oh, I'll tell that story actually real quick after this. But it was, I just didn't like it. It's like, you don't touch my belly when I'm not pregnant. Don't touch it now. And it's like, if you're going to, at least motherfucking ask.
Yeah.
Yes. But real quick, just side note to my brothers and me being pregnant. It was a very weird thing for them. You know, I'm their big sister. They're teenagers. It's like, meh. So my brother Christian, I FaceTimed him to let them know it was twins. And I looked at him. I'm like, so it's not one baby, it's two. And on FaceTime, he literally like was on his phone and then looks up at me and goes, wow, you're not just fucked. You're double fucked. And I was like, thanks, Christian. Like, I'm just trying to accept that there's two, and you're telling me I'm double fucked. Like,
comic gold right there, though. He really nailed it. Like, that was.
Yeah, but well, you know, that's a great way to end this. That pretty much
and that actually does lead me into the advice segment.
Oh,
because
perfect.
This this advice that I got is about an unplanned pregnancy, and like, I mean, the person is not pregnant with twins, but I'll just go into it and we can hopefully help this girl out.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm a 23-year-old female and I'm around 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. It was a complete accident. We were actively trying to not get pregnant. I've never skipped a period before, so I knew pretty much immediately. However, I had a positive pregnancy test last week. I'm at a total loss of what to do, as I very much want to keep the baby. However, it would be financially difficult on my boyfriend, who's 25, and he doesn't want to keep the baby. He's 100% certain. He doesn't really like his job at the moment, and our relationship is still very early. We've been dating around 7 months, after me just getting out of a very serious relationship of nearly 6 years. I worry that my desire to have a baby is ignoring the fact that the circumstances are not right. I feel like if I keep the baby, my boyfriend will leave me, and if I get an abortion, I will resent him. I have a telephone consultation with a service that provides abortions booked for Tuesday, but I really don't feel like I can go through with it. I'm really unsure of what to do. Any advice would be very welcome.
Yeah.
I can start if anybody...
No, I was just wait. I didn't know who was going. You can go ahead,
It
Deanna.
seemed like Megan.
No, you go first.
Oh.
You go first. Yeah.
Okay. So to this girl, I definitely think that this is something that like you guys have to actively talk about, because the fact that you guys are like on 2 different pages, if you know that you're not ready to be a mother, I think that it's okay for you. I think I'm gonna come from this with what I would do. Okay. And honestly, just like the girl, I don't think I would be able to go through with an abortion. But there are other options. You can always sign up with an adoption agency if you know, and you can like maybe set up an open adoption so that you could still have a relationship with your child, but you know that you can't provide for your child right now. And you still want to give that child the best life possible. I would maybe seek out those options and talk about that with your boyfriend, because then if you guys both know it's early in your relationship and you guys aren't ready to become parents, then, I mean, help somebody else become parents.
That's really true.
And, I mean, I was just going to add, like, she should not feel pressured in any way to make a certain choice. It's up to her at the end of the day. Right. And clearly, I wouldn't want for her to be raising a child by herself. But you have to think about how you're going to handle things mentally after a choice. Right. Whatever that choice may be. And, you know, it can be done. Like, you know, again, here we are talking about my pregnancy that was not planned. And it for myself, I just could never choose that option of
Right.
having abortion. I feel like I'd be like her, that it would be like I would
Resentment.
yeah, there would just be that. You can't help that. That's an emotion that's going to come because it wasn't a choice you fully wanted to make, but you felt pressured into it. So I don't know. I just think she should definitely, like y'all said, talk about it. So it's like they're on the same page, because it's like it's not going to be a decision that's made like that.
No, that's
Right.
It's going to take time.
That's all I was going to say. Like,
Right.
you really need to sit down and really weigh out every option. And, like, I know I always say this, but, like, be gentle on yourself. Like, it may not be the option your boyfriend wants. It may not be the option your family wants. But at the end of the day, like, this is your decision. And you just need to go what feels right for you. And everything else will just fall into place, however that looks. Because I just feel like it's better to just figure out what you want, so that way you can live with yourself for the rest of your life. Like, I know that sounds kind of weird, but, like, your boyfriend is how long? 7 months? Like,
Yeah, 7 months.
so you don't even know the longevity of this relationship. So don't make a huge life decision on some guy that you don't even really know maybe yet. So, and we don't know how their relationship is. There's a lot of moving factors that we
Right.
don't know. So
Yeah.
I would just ask her to just think about what you truly want. And if you don't want this baby, like Deani said, and you don't feel comfortable getting an abortion, then there's other options you can take if you don't think you can raise a family right now. But I also want to say, like, if you do feel like abortion is the best option for you, then that is your decision, and that is
Right.
100%
Yeah.
okay. Because at the end of the day, this is your
Right.
body. So I don't know. But I would still have a conversation with your boyfriend too. But yeah.
And I want to say that I noticed that she mentioned that, like, her boyfriend's not happy with his job right now, but she didn't really mention, like, what her financial situation is like. So, like, if you can provide a life financially for your child and you want to keep the baby, I mean,
it's been done. My mom's been a single mom for a while, and it's not easy. It really isn't. But
right.
she always says that you make sacrifices when you become a parent, and, like, all the hard times outweigh it because she had her daughters.
Yeah.
So just, that's a lot though to handle.
That's
a lot, and, like, it sounds like she doesn't have support either way, and so just to, like, unpack all that by herself is really hard.
I would definitely find some sort of support from anyone to talk to, even if it's hard, not knowing how family is, and clearly she's not getting the support from her boyfriend right now. So there's got to be someone she could find, whether even if it is, at that appointment center, they're going to have someone there that I'm sure she can talk to.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, she has an appointment set up, and I'm sure that the people at the clinic are going to want to make sure that she's mentally like fine either way.
Yeah.
So maybe just talk with a counselor there. I'm sure that they have plenty of people who come in just trying to weigh their options, just trying to see what the best decision is for them. So honestly, girl, okay, listen, this is what you're going to do. You're going to go to the telehealth visit. You're going to hear what they have to say, hear what the options are. Then you're going to call an adoption agency, see what the laws are, see what your options are. Then you're going to, if it was me, I'd create a PowerPoint, pros and cons. You're going to sit down with your boyfriend, weigh your finances, and maybe, who knows, maybe him having a baby with you brings you guys closer together, and he gets a job that he actually wants to be working in and works his way up. You never know. Weigh your options, weigh every single aspect of your options, and then make a decision.
But also, and I'm just always kind of like a half-empty kind of girl, I guess, don't hold out hope that he'll get his shit together, or he'll magically be like, yeah, I'm ready now to have this baby. If in the beginning he's like not for it. Like, I understand maybe, like, she just found out, so maybe he's just being like, this is unexpected.
Scared.
Yeah, he's scared. Yeah, so maybe if you guys have more conversation, he'll feel more relaxed, and then you can truly find out what he's feeling. But if you have that conversation and he still is very, like, persistent that this isn't what he wants, I don't want you to have false hope that, like, if you have this baby with him, that, like, maybe it'll turn into something that it just won't. I don't know.
Well, and regardless, that's going to turn into resentment, which she doesn't want.
Yeah. It's like she gets rid of the baby, she'll feel resentment towards him. If she keeps the baby, he'll have resentment towards her. So it's just...
Yeah.
You have to definitely... She just has to talk to him. Like, there has
Yeah.
to be that meeting in the middle. Let's talk. Not, like, attacking each other. Like, truly why you want what you want, and is there a second option or anything. You just got to talk about it. But that is going to take time and to figure out.
And you guys just honestly have to be like open and honest with each other. Don't sugarcoat anything the way that you feel. Don't sugarcoat it. And I'm sure that he won't sugarcoat how he feels. But at the end of the day, you guys just have to make the decision that's like right for each other as a couple, whether that be staying together or not. But then at the end of the day, you also have to make the right choice for you and your body and your life and your future.
Amen. Yeah.
But 100% agree. That's it from me on the advice. Do you guys have any more advice for her?
No, I just wish her the best of luck.
Yeah. Best of luck.
I do have an announcement unrelated to unplanned pregnancy. This is going to sound so weird coming after like kind of a hard topic. But to the class of 2020, I do just want to say like congratulations. My little sister was supposed to graduate. Her and her friends have worked so hard, and they were supposed to graduate actually on Mother's Day. And I do just want to say that I'm like praying for you guys. There's no like way to describe the feeling of like walking across that stage. And I do even like the college graduates, the high school graduates, the middle school graduates, like this is a huge accomplishment no matter what level you're at. And like I want you to know that like I'm praying for you guys. I'm happy for you guys. I'm cheering for you guys. And it's only up from here. Like, you guys are going to accomplish amazing things. I know. Yeah,
just because you can't walk across the stage does not diminish all the hard work and effort you have put in over the past years. You should still feel really proud of yourself. And you can still celebrate, you know? Through Zoom.
Right.
Exactly. Like, yes, the celebration. Oh, sorry. The walking across was stolen and taken from you. But like Megan just said, like Deani just said, you guys did an amazing accomplishment that honestly not everyone gets to do.
Yeah.
So you worked your little behinds off. Yes, would walking across that stage be the most amazing thing and those last moments? Yes. But you have just conquered the biggest just emotional and mental struggle you possibly could in early young 20s life. You know, even you know, teenagers in high school, like it sucks, but you can only go up from here, like they said.
And I don't know if this helps, but like when I look back on my college and high school, like I don't really necessarily think of me walking. I just like all my memories are the people that were there with me and all those times that stick out to me. And to be honest, it wasn't really the walking part. It was everything that got me to the walking part, if that made sense.
And if I'm going to be like really, really honest, the most memorable thing for me was like my graduation party. You know, like the food and like the friends and blah, blah, blah. Guys, I'm such a foodie. So like you guys can still have that graduation party, hopefully in like middle of summer, which hopefully the weather will be nicer. Come down in your cap and gown. Who cares that it's the middle of July? I don't. I want to see you in your cap and gown. You walk around all day, go out to the bars in your cap and gown, get people to buy you free drinks. I mean, if you're of age, get people to buy you free drinks, and you celebrate this huge accomplishment.
And to be honest, people are going to celebrate even harder for you guys because they're going to be like, round of shots for the college graduates. Right. right. Yeah. You know, shout out my brother who's graduating high school. No shots for you, Mike.
Yes. That you know of.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, guys, on that note, this is the end of our episode. Please do not forget to subscribe, rate, and review, and share our podcast with your closest friends. Also, feel free to follow us on social media. You can follow our Instagram page at Sippin' Through Life, and then you can find mine at Gaby Colazzo.
And you can find me on Instagram at Life of Deani. That's LIFEOFDEANNI. And that will be spelled down below in the description of this episode.
Nice. And you can follow me at Hey It's Megan. You already know how it's spelled, I hope. 3 Y's, 2 S's, no H, 1 N. And it'll be down below. But also check me out on my latest podcast that I just created with my sister. It's Bachelor related. It's called Don't Steal My Bachelor. And we are currently recapping Listen to Your Heart. So if you are a fan of that, come on over. And yes, I think that's all for me.
Awesome. So go catch that podcast, everyone. Till next time, sippers.
Bye.
Bye.